Thank you for staying with us on Nigeria Decides. Well, the collection of permanent voter cards across the country has experienced several challenges. And today, the independent electoral body, INEC, decided to extend collection till Monday, the 11th of February. And definitely we'll be discussing this on the segment of Nigeria Decides. We're joined by Olawale Amoussa. He is YPP Lagos State House of Assembly, Kosofe 1 constituency candidate. Thank you so much for joining us. We also have Babasola Adegbuyi, YPP gubernatorial candidate, Ogun State. Thank you as well.
Thank you very much for being here today.
Now, gentlemen, we have this extension, a little bit of grace period, despite the bottlenecks that comes with collecting PVCs. But do you think this is an appropriate measure by INEC to extend and say, well, since we have thousands and thousands yet to be collected, well, let's give this chance?
Okay, I would like to say it's a welcome development, in as much as we know that even if they extend this to a day to the presidential election, some people will still be collecting their PVCs. So I think any opportunity to allow people to be properly enfranchised should be supported. However, there's a lot of, from the field, we know that there are a lot of bottlenecks, you know, in the collection of most of these things. And that is a challenge for a lot of people that would normally not like to go through that kind of stress. So I think INEC should find a way to make it a bit more. Yes, the extension is good, but they should make it a bit easier for people.
Can you give us an indication of some of these challenges since you're from the field? Yes,
for instance, I learned, well, I wouldn't say I was there, but I received a report that, for instance, in a local government in Ikorodu, we were told that people were told to go and come back after the elections, you understand? And these people, there was a crowd, they went there to get their PVCs, and asking them to go and come back after the elections, that for me was a bit of a turn-off, you understand? The reason why a lot of people went through that stress of getting registered is so that they can exercise their right to vote, you understand? And telling them to do so after, you know, it defeats the purpose as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, now let's talk about what's on ground now, because I know two persons who received text messages from INEC today telling them to come and collect their PVCs. Now, I didn't know all the while that INEC had everyone's phone numbers, you know, so coming this late in the day when it's just, actually the collection was supposed to end today. So what can we say about INEC's commitment to this distribution of PVCs? Let me come to you.
Actually, I do think the INEC actually make use of the numbers with them. The reason why I say that is that I got my son a phone and SIM card. Immediately I inserted the SIM card this afternoon, maybe after 1 month or 2 months. And it's only made for him. The INEC message came in, go and collect you. So I was wondering, this boy is just 10 years. He has not registered. So it's not actually for INEC registered. That's my own. So number two, the message I got is that go and collect your PVC if you have not done so as this closing today. They have not amended that message to February 10. Is it February 10 or 11? February 11th. At least, I believe by now, that should have been edicted. Send the message out and let people. To me, it's a good development, because before now there was nothing like that from INEC telling people to go and collect their.
Isn't it coming too late in the day? Because we're just, if not for the extension, this would have been the last day of collection. Sure. And now people are receiving messages. They've also said that the distribution will continue on Saturday and on Sunday. So why do we keep leaving it to the last minute?
Yes.
You know, we have this disease in Nigeria, last minute rush. It's a disease. We believe, most of us believe that until when this another is closing, we will not go there and collect what belongs to us. So maybe INEC looked at what is on ground and felt like, no, we should give people more chance to collect their PVC. It's just like when we're doing the registration. The registration has been a continuous one since 2016. It was when it was getting close that people were now rushing down to INEC offices for registration. So people have to have a change of mind towards a lot of things.
Okay. Let me hear your thoughts as well on that.
Yeah, I would like to say that this move by INEC is a bit cosmetic. Why would I say that? Because would expect an arbiter who has a plan. There's a plan for an election, 4 years time, you know there's a process, yes, a register is open and blah, blah, blah. You know at what point, these people have to get their PVCs, the latest possible time. You understand? And you plan towards that. So you say, okay, fine, before, say 1 month to the deadline, they start getting messages. 3 weeks to the deadline, they start getting messages. And 7 days to the deadline, they start getting messages. So for me, getting that message today, for me, is cosmetic.
So now then, where lies the fate of those who, despite this extension, will be told that, well, your PVC is not ready and you have to wait till the next election?
Oh, well, for those kind of people, it's unfortunate. There's really no redress. There's no recourse.
Interested. Now, when we look at some statistics, we see the Northwest having the highest number of registered voters, which is standing at over 20 million. We have the Southwest as well, about 16,292,000, comprising about 19.39%. The North Central having about 13 million, South 12 million, 841,000, Northeast 11,289,000, as well as the Southeast having about 10,057,000. Now, if we're looking at all of these figures as at this point in time, don't you think that INEC should have already brought us abreast with the total number of cards that have been gotten per region, and then we say this is the exact number so that we can follow through and say by Monday, XYZ additional numbers collected their cards. But we've not had this information breakdown from INEC. All we just have is just shabby information, in my own opinion. What do you think about that, the whole communication process? Because at the end of the day, we've heard of PVCs getting burnt, we've heard of PVCs getting missing, and a whole lot more. And people fear that some uncollected PVCs would be used to manipulate the election results, not forgetting that they say the CBN is going to be responsible for safekeeping of the uncollected PVCs. But that notwithstanding, aren't we supposed to have feedback from INEC back to back, almost on a weekly basis, as to how much of collection we've done so far?
Yes, I like to believe, like we always say, the problem that we have in Nigeria, chief problem, is our lack of data. You understand? I believe if we properly harness data, we can pinpoint exactly what number, level of achievement, what needs to be addressed, the gap that needs to be bridged. You understand? But since there's no data, we have to rely. I cannot categorically say that INEC's figures may be correct. A lot of them may be estimations. You understand? Because where do you want to go and start counting 84 million or how many?
But it is possible. That is why we have state electoral commissions. We have local government offices. They can actually tell these are the number of cards that went out today. And it boils down to daily collection and then collation to tell us. At least INEC can do that every month. Don't you think?
In an ideal society.
In an ideal society.
Not even every month. Every day.
Every week at least, not being too ambitious. That's why I stressed the week.
We also don't have a system of following up and checking up. You understand? It's very possible that somebody somewhere's job is to be collating or imputing the number of cards collected. You understand? But who checks whether or not he puts in an accurate figure, or he just conjures figures and throws them out?
Who should be asking questions now? Because now that we know that it is important for us to, you're a political candidate, you're supposed to be asking people to vote for you. And now I'm sure that you've asked some people and they told you things like, we don't even have our PVCs. I know that it is not a good place to be, especially if most of your supporters don't have PVCs. So who is supposed to ask questions? Is it supposed, everybody? Definitely everybody can ask questions. Is it those who are running for office who can actually ask questions and get INEC to do the right thing?
Well, I'd like to, okay, sorry.
Actually, the political parties should be asking questions in respect of the number of collection on the PVC collected and those yet to be collected. Well, you know, most of the time, one thing I believe is that most of us, it's not that we don't know what to do, but sometimes if there is no need for it, we not want to do it. You get it. Just like what we are talking about in respect of who should be in charge of collation. Go to some of the INEC offices. Maybe you see about 2 or 3 people working there, and they are attending to people collecting their PVCs, where you have crowd. And since there is no boss in the office who has gone out to do his own personal things or official things, not assign who the collection of the, what's it called, the PVC collected, he will not assign it to anybody. At the end of the day, it is only when political parties now mount pressure on INEC that come. You have told us that the 4 people actually collected, registered for the PVC. Now tell us the number of people that have collected and those that are yet to collect. If the political parties are not doing that, INEC too will just be sitting down.
But I think it's just the responsibility of INEC in being proactive that on a day of even extension, you give a detailed account that this is what we have, this is yet to be uncollected.
Yes.
Well, we have a quick package. One of our reporters went out there to get some reports from INEC offices as well and brought us this details.
Let's see it.
In less than 10 days, Nigerians will be heading to the poll to vote for their most preferred presidential candidate, the much-awaited 2019 general elections. I visited Etiosa local government in VI Lagos State, where I met a large crowd, all waiting to collect their PVCs. Off the camera, I spoke with an information officer at the local government who said they had resumed since 7 a.m. However, citizens complained of the cumbersome process in collecting their PVCs.
This is my 3rd time of being here, this particular place. I've been here like twice, but I was bounced back, telling me that it's not ready over again. And here I am now, look at the crowd.
I've been here over 3 hours. The only thing I've done is to write down my name. And I've been waiting for them to call my name to go to the next step. This is actually my 2nd attempt in trying to, my 3rd actually. My 3rd attempt in trying to collect my PVC. I went to where I registered, then they said I had to come here. And I came here the first time, I couldn't bear the crowd because probably I had somewhere to go. And then I'm here again today to give it another try, you know. But I'm going to make sure that I do collect my PVC today.
So I'm here to help my wife collect her PVC. You can see it's very rough here and poorly organized. It's terrible. We've been here since morning. It's disorganized. It's very rough. And we're just hoping for a little bit more coordination and orderliness so we can just get our PVC. We can just help my wife get our PVC and every other person, you know, get their PVC and move, but it's very disorganized.
Unfortunately, this man said he had lost his job in the process of trying to get his PVC.
I've been coming here almost 3 weeks now. I cannot get it. And I've been taking an excuse where I'm working and I cannot get it. Yesterday, I collected my final letter. I was sacked because of PVC, because I've been taking an excuse every day for me to come and get the PVC.
From my observation and inquiries, the process required name writing, officials going into the INEC office in the local government to bring PVCs out for those who are waiting, then calling out names with and without megaphones in different segments, hence making some people not hear their names if at all being called. Although it was not a very organized process as would have been expected, and possibility of attending to the large crowd seen at a very meager rate, INEC extended the PVC collection till the 11th of February. We hope for a free, fair, violence-free and credible 2019 election.
Well, definitely we've seen that, and that was the observation of our correspondent right there on ground,
Pretty
telling
much
us
disorganized, and look at the number of people there. And it's sad that this isn't the first time we're having this sort of collation and collection process. So why wouldn't we be able to coordinate things properly, and then we now have to wait till this last minute? And you know the pressure that would add on the officials who are supposed to be on ground. Mistakes will be made and a whole lot of things going wrong.
Guess what? Today is Friday, and then there's this much crowd. What happens there
on Saturday
tomorrow?
and Sunday?
Saturday and on
Monday.
Sunday. Okay, we still have a guest in the studio. I would also like you, Olawale, to react to the issue of who should ask questions. He already said political parties, but do you have any contrary opinion?
Yeah, well, it's not exactly a contrary opinion, but I feel that all stakeholders should be interested. Stakeholders being, in this case, political parties, very important stakeholders. The electorate themselves should be interested enough, because the mindset is, okay, hey, I want to vote for this person. If I don't get my card, well, that's it. You understand? But we find out that where you see a determined electorate saying, like some of these persons we saw in the video, if they say, I want to get my PVC, it's my right, it must be done, I'm ready to sleep here, you understand, to get my PVC, that would maybe spur some people, wherever they are, to ensure that
But somebody already lost his job. What else do you want the man to
What
do?
bigger sacrifice do you expect?
Yeah, but you see, in the south, okay, you reeled out the figures. You know, some parts of up north and down here. Some of us down here, you know, we are a bit. We work at our convenience. You understand? A lot of us now that are rushing at this last minute to get our PVCs. If probably we had come maybe some 6 months ago, we come strolling. Like I had my PVC transferred, and I got my PVC. I didn't spend 10-15 minutes. You understand? So a lot of people, if we have decided that okay, I am planning this election, I know who I want to vote, and okay, in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks' time, I want to get my PVC so that I can vote for my preferred candidate. You understand? I'm planning, I'm projecting. You understand? So the stakeholders, for me, the people are a very important stakeholder in this process. You get?
But I just believe that everybody has expressed that resolve, because sometimes you go there and you're told come back in a week or in 2 weeks' time and a whole lot more, and the crowd never seems to reduce. That excuse is just unacceptable.
Yes, yours is an exception.
It's an exception. Not so many people have to wait for 15 minutes. When I wanted to collect my PVC, I had to wait for over 3 hours. And the lucky thing was that I had the afternoon shift and I was able to come to work. But other individuals who are working 9 to 5 and don't have any excuse, like that gentleman who lost his job, 3 weeks back to back, you just go there, I need my PVC. I have to have this. It's just a pretty much sad situation. And we also look at some of our celebrities as well. We saw Sheilo and A2C as well, complaining, saying, well, this is a disorganized arrangement here. And you also saw the gentleman with the megaphone. So how do we say you write your name and then we call out your name to come for your PVC and all of that?
Yes.
Actually, there was a time that INEC pasted the register at each polling unit. The first question we should ask ourselves: how many people actually went there to check their name on the register? People don't. Very few people do. Now, if your name is not on the register, I can tell you some of those there, their names are not on the register.
But they registered.
They registered. Sometimes omission. Omission as a result of system. Human error, sometimes you can't rule it out.
But in cases now, sorry to cut you, Babasola, in cases now where, for example, there are certain details missed on a person's PVC, for example, my name is Oluwadamilola, and that has been shortened to Oluwadamilol, or a date.
That's horrible.
That's pretty much bad. But where a date of birth, I beg your
The date of birth
is different, and all of those. These details affect whether or not you can cast your vote.
Yes. Such thing, you have the right to ask for change of name or change of date.
I requested that, and the INEC official just told me, what do you expect me to do at this point in time?
No, you know, sometimes we should not, yes, those in the office, you know, their reaction sometimes because they don't know what to do. But if we consistently, like he said the other time, the electorate also are stakeholders. If we constantly hammer INEC on here, on social media, or you write letters to them, please, you need to change my ID card as a result of the data provided on the card. You get, INEC would have no choice than to do it, because the INEC ID card you have is tenable in the bank and tenable in some places that I can make use of. So if the date of birth or the name, any of them, is different from what you are provided to, there is a high possibility that it's going to be rejected.
Now, let me put this to you, Babasola. How many Nigerians are literate enough to go the whole hog to pursue it to a conclusive end? You know, so we shouldn't limit this to people who are educated, who can write mails. So where stands the faith of the average Nigerian?
And that notwithstanding,
who cannot even check his or her
considering that
name?
Next week, Saturday, and March 2nd, we are having the election. So what happens?
So for such, what I believe is that, like you mentioned, the illiterate. That's why you know the councillor, you know your chairman, you know the party person, or you can, if you cry out. There are some military that once they cry out, people will hear them. They know what they are fighting for. If you cry out, people will help you. You get. Although I know that in Nigeria, everybody is to itself, you're on your own. Most especially if what you are collecting, the INEC card you are collecting, is not going to be used for anything. So you're not bother about
Now, does your party have a structure that allows people who are possibly your members or who are interested in voting any candidate in YPP to at least report, just in case the person cannot pursue it, coming to you to say, this is what happened with my PVC collection, can you pursue it? Do you have a structure like that?
Yeah, people do report to me in respect of their maybe collection of INEC card.
Yeah.
So what we do is that once we get that, we get in touch with the state chairman, let the state chairman
take it up.
Yeah.
Okay, Olawale, can you also weigh in on that?
Yeah, I think most political parties, because they are beneficiaries, they always have their internal mechanism, by which they can address those kind of issues. So I think yes, it's key. It's key for us to keep, like we say, when those people come and they relay those complaints, we should also be interested in ensuring that they get. But going back just a step, what we said earlier, I think that's why it's important that for us as Nigerians, we change our attitude. You understand? If someone has come and he has gotten his PVC, maybe some 6 months before elections, and he discovers an error on his PVC, he has ample time, you understand, to begin to cry out and get work done or get it rectified. As against someone who is coming 2 days or a week to elections, we know that there is zilch that can be done.
No, okay.
Quickly, INEC also has reiterated that after the deadline, which is on Monday, all uncollected PVCs will be deposited with the CBN. How comfortable are you with this for safekeeping situations until the next general election and when we have the continuous registration of voters again?
Is it going to be until the next general election? Because immediately after election,
they can continue.
They can continue.
They said in their words, they said until the next general election when the collection of cards are done and then as well as the continuous registration of voters will resume.
If INEC is comfortable keeping those materials with CBN, I think I'm comfortable too. The reason is, as far as I'm concerned, CBN is more secured than even being in the INEC office.
Okay, Olawale.
Well, I think I may disagree with my brother on that, because I believe that, yes, the CBN, if you had probably said the minting, National Minting, Security Minting Commission, sorry.
They didn't tell us exactly where they are taking it to. They said CBN.
So
because I'm not sure CBN is really in the business of printing money and saving it somewhere. So probably people that have vault and securities and all whatever, I'll be more comfortable with National Security Minting Commission or Corporation as against the CBN. So whatever, they'll have their reasons for doing that.
But don't you think this would be a chance of compromise again? Because we've all said when we are looking at uncollected PVC cards, there are always that fear that's just like, well, possibly, some way, somehow, these cards might be used for whatever, and then there's always an excuse at the end of the day in Nigeria.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but I align with that, because there's always that fear. The fear of interference, and 4 years is quite a long time, you understand, for us to begin to do certain things and keep in a place. Certain things can happen which we can't, we can't wish away.
Okay, we're rounding off now, and I would like for us to weigh in on this just briefly. INEC has said that all state offices should review strategies for collection of PVCs to ensure that every voter that no voter gets disenfranchised. What should INEC do differently to ensure that voters get their PVCs this weekend? Babasola.
They ought to have recruited more hard work staffs for this weekend, if they actually had it in mind. Because if you are telling me the 3 or 4 people in the INEC office are going to attend to the crowd this weekend, I doubt if the crowd will reduce, because the woman will definitely get weary and tired, and
Olawale.
Yeah, I think there was a point they went to the ward level. I think if they go to the ward level once again, they'll record more success.
Okay, thank you so much. So, have you collected your PVC? Did you have any challenges? You can share with us your experiences on any of our social media platforms at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll take a quick break on Nigeria Decides, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.